Well, LeBron James continues to do what LeBron James does best, namely be an insufferable D-bag who is incapable of ever letting a moment pass in which he isn't slapping us in the face with this unassailable fact.
Seriously, LeBron, are you telling us you didn't know the Earth was round until last week? Must have been too busy slam dunking to check Wikipedia. And what about that hairline? LeBron, is it a mirage or a carefully crafted optical illusion? Because we're not buying the hairline restoration cream story. So grab your truth serum and your detective hats, because we're about to crack open the case of LeBron's honesty or lack thereof. History of embracing spotlight. LeBron has built his entire career around garnering attention and hype. For someone claiming he avoids praise and spotlight, LeBron constantly places himself squarely in the center of it, across endless publicity stunts. This was most blatantly on display in the infamous 2010 The Decision TV special. Rather than a simple press event as most stars would hold, LeBron and his team orchestrated over-the-top hype on national ESPN television just for LeBron to announce his 2010 free agency decision. This thirst for attention was the first major example of LeBron relishing praise and promotion, not avoiding it. More evidence came in his championship celebrations. When LeBron won his first ring in 2012, rather than letting his play do the talking, he threw himself a mega downtown Miami party, declaring he would win 7+ titles. Again, only someone obsessed with their image and legacy initiates championship parades before even getting started. This directly contradicts someone who shuns the spotlight. Even after winning the 2020 bubble title, further cementing his legacy, LeBron stopped his post-game interview to demand more fan respect and acknowledgement of his greatness. Another counter to someone who disdains praise. LeBron also utilizes traditional, digital, and social media to constantly feed his publicity addiction through regular talk show appearances just to proclaim his superiority over peers, Instagram and Twitter posts tracking his statistical records and awards at every chance, and granting access to media allies like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe to serve as tabloid-like mouthpieces about his greatness. The ultimate publicity stunt came in 2018, where LeBron declared himself the greatest of all time on an ESPN documentary with dramatic introduction music and videos. This Oscar-style production, carried by his close business partner, was staged for the sole purpose of LeBron bestowing a self-appointed title upon himself. Michael Jordan certainly never required a live television event just to feed his ego and thirst for acknowledgement as the so-called GOAT. Previous exaggerations and embellishments. Beyond craving constant praise off the court, LeBron has also developed a pattern of exaggerating accomplishments, excuses, and events throughout his career. At this point, fans are wise to this tendency for dishonest embellishment when opportunities arise to shape his preferred narrative. One area LeBron frequently cites as embellished reasons for poor performance are a litany of health issues and injuries. LeBron has mastered the class of claiming injuries after defeat or substandard statistical outputs. However, these health problems curiously seem to rarely affect him significantly in wins or games where he stuffs the stat sheet. The injuries are exploited strategically. A recent example came after the 2023 All-Star Game loss, when he claimed shoulder soreness severely hampered his play. But there were no such issues noted earlier in the weekend when capturing the MVP award. Another common tactic for LeBron is claiming supernatural recall abilities as a way to boost his basketball genius credentials by stating verbatim in interviews to have a photographic memory, allowing him to remember full details from any game, play, or live event throughout his whole career. This is likely false, as sports psychologists have dismissed the notion such rare skills even exist to this level. Moreover, athletes remember moments tied to emotion or significance, not meaningless regular season games from over a decade ago. His own analysts regularly prove LeBron commonly misremembers game situations from just days or weeks prior, directly contradicting the photographic memory statements. LeBron also takes credit in business for products barely involving him. Most famously, he once claimed he designed the core look and technology of the new Nike LeBron 20 signature shoe. But designers at Nike later stated he only provided minimal input at occasional check-ins. This resembles a pattern for LeBron of overstating his central role as visionary or innovator in major business deals likely done by others. The motive seems to be further burnishing his his Renaissance man credibility amongst fans. In totality, these examples demonstrate LeBron's clear pattern of inflating narratives around excuses, accomplishments, and abilities for self-image purpose when opportunities arise. While most prominent athletes engage in some degree of typical sports embellishment, few have shown such a constant need at LeBron's level. Impact on legacy. No impartial observer denies LeBron James's legendary basketball status near the apex of the sport's grades based on his dominance and massive two-way statistical output. His once-in-a-generation blend of scoring, playmaking vision, brute athleticism, defensive versatility, and high IQ classify LeBron among the most talented and productive players ever, with a strong argument as the best of his era. His longevity also deserves praise, as LeBron remains an elite player even in his 20th season. However, in LeBron James's relentless pursuit of being anointed the greatest of all time over Michael Jordan, his compulsion to constantly exaggerate accomplishments, make excuses, and rank change does unfairly raise credibility questions that distract from fully assessing his true place in basketball history using his only statistical dominance and athletic brilliance. Rather than letting continued stellar play continue strengthening his legacy during the back half of his career, LeBron has developed counterproductive propaganda habits of dishonest self-promotion, manufacturing false media narratives, leaning on convenient injuries as crutches for big losses, and overstating his central role in off-court business endeavors. His cumulative desperation plays to cement his GOAT perception in eyes of fans and pundits, point to an underlying insecurity about letting his achievements speak entirely for themselves, and they serve to unnecessarily undermine his legacy when held against past legends who exuded more quiet, poised confidence. The all-time greats like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson possessed an innate confidence in their abilities and put in relentless work behind the scenes. They knew once rolling, their immense talent would prevail in pursuit of championships. LeBron's need to constantly self-promote and embellish suggests deeper insecurity relative to those legends regarding how he'll be perceived historically if his achievements alone did the talking rather than amplified narratives. If he fully trusted in his talents, no over-the-top propaganda or manufactured storylines would be required. Truly elite champions throughout sports history are universally maniacally obsessed with winning above all else. Film study, practice, diet, and health maintenance all revolve around doing whatever is necessary for titles in the quest for greatness. But too often, LeBron seems to dedicate mental health to his off-court brand, repeating narratives on talk shows, orchestrating hype on social media, and vague injury excuses rather than further skill development or tactical preparation. This misplaced focus needlessly narrows his peak compared to past winners who were solely basketball obsessed. Early on in LeBron's career, both fans and media tended to overlook his exaggerations because his raw abilities was so overwhelming and he seemed destined for all-time greatness regardless. But 20 full years of repetitive self-coronation ceremonies after big moments, amplified convenience excuses after losses, stage publicity stunts, and taking credit for likely exaggerated elements of his profile have collectively taken their credibility toll. Prominent sports media members now openly critique his credibility deficit due to these tendencies over the years. Former teammates have hinted his abilities do not fully align with his exaggerated self-perception, and even once loyal fans have grown more skeptical of his late career narrative shaping and credibility. While LeBron's basketball abilities should have always assured his all-time stature alone, his unnecessary penchant for dishonesty and propaganda has served to undermine his claim as the defining player of his era for some fans and analysts. Had he avoided overdoing self-promotion, not chased Michael Jordan's ghost with manufactured hype cycles, and stuck to confidently letting his play speak for itself, he had an opportunity to be appreciated by all as the standout star of the 21st century game. But his insistence on inflating narratives has awakened skepticism, and once lost, credibility becomes tremendously difficult to restore even for the greatest talents. As the curtains close on LeBron James's monumental career, his rightful place among basketball royalty endures complicated by an insatiable hunger for plaudits. Though blessed with generational talent amassing statistical dominance, LeBron too often masked insecurity behind aggrandizement, whether fueling publicity stunts or crowning himself before championships were clinched. For hoops fans along on the full journey, this flaw made his brilliance gleam less bright. Still, his versatile two-way excellence should tower in posterity, complexities, and all. Like and subscribe for more NBA Legends coverage.